The world's attention is once again turning toward the Caribbean, where rising tensions between Venezuela and the United States are creating a serious geopolitical ripple. This time, it's not just words or warnings. It's firepower. The U.S. Navy has recently tested what many are calling its most powerful new machine gun system, and the timing could not be more critical. As these tests unfold, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has reportedly placed his military on high alert, signaling that this development is being taken very seriously in Caracas. To understand why this test matters so much, we need to look at the broader picture. Venezuela has long accused the United States of interference, pressure, and attempts to undermine its government. From sanctions to diplomatic isolation, the relationship between Washington and Caracas has been tense for years. But military demonstrations change the tone entirely. When advanced weapons are tested near a region already filled with political mistrust, every move becomes a message. The U.S. Navy's latest machine gun test is not just about raw firepower. It represents a shift in how modern naval warfare is being prepared for. Unlike traditional machine guns designed decades ago, this new system is engineered for today's battlefield, where speed, accuracy, and adaptability matter more than ever. Naval threats no longer come only from large enemy ships. They now include fast attack boats, drones, asymmetric forces, and surprise coastal engagements. This weapon is designed to counter all of them. Reports suggest that the new machine gun delivers an unprecedented combination of high-caliber impact, rapid firing capability, and advanced targeting integration. Mounted on U.S. Navy vessels, it can respond to threats within seconds, creating a protective shield around fleets operating in contested waters. This is particularly important in regions like the Caribbean, where narrow sea lanes and proximity to coastlines increase the risk of sudden confrontations. For Venezuela, these tests are impossible to ignore. The country's leadership views U.S. military activity near its sphere of influence as a direct threat. President Maduro has repeatedly accused Washington of planning regime change, and any show of force reinforces those fears. Placing Venezuelan forces on high alert sends a clear signal: Caracas is watching, prepared, and unwilling to appear weak in the face of American military demonstrations. But this situation isn't just about Venezuela and the United States. It reflects a larger global trend. Around the world, major powers are modernizing their weapons systems at a rapid pace. From hypersonic missiles to autonomous drones, the arms race is evolving fast. The U.S. Navy's machine gun test fits into this pattern, showing that even traditional weapons like machine guns are being reinvented for future conflicts. What makes this development especially concerning is the potential for miscalculation. Military tests are often intended as deterrence, not provocation. However, in regions already strained by political hostility, deterrence can easily be interpreted as aggression. A single misunderstanding, an unplanned encounter at sea, or a misread signal could escalate tensions far beyond what either side intends. The Caribbean has historically been a strategic region for the United States. Its proximity to the U.S. mainland, critical shipping routes, and history during the Cold War make it an area where Washington maintains a strong naval presence. Venezuela, on the other hand, sees itself as a sovereign power resisting foreign dominance. These opposing perspectives collide whenever U.S. military hardware appears near Venezuelan waters. The machine gun being tested is reportedly designed not only for offensive capability but also for defensive dominance. Its ability to neutralize incoming threats quickly makes it ideal for protecting naval assets during patrols or escort missions. This is particularly relevant as non-state actors and irregular forces increasingly use fast boats and small craft to challenge larger navies. The U.S. Navy wants to ensure that no threat, no matter how small or fast, can get close enough to cause damage. For Maduro's government, this raises concerns about vulnerability. Venezuela's navy does not possess the same level of technological sophistication as the U.S. Navy. Any demonstration of overwhelming American firepower highlights this imbalance. By raising alert levels, Venezuela aims to project readiness and resolve, even if its capabilities are limited in comparison. International observers are closely watching how this situation unfolds. Some analysts believe the U.S. is simply sending a message of strength, not only to Venezuela but to any nation that might challenge American naval dominance in the Western Hemisphere. Others argue that such displays risk pushing already fragile relationships closer to open confrontation. Sanctions have already strained Venezuela's economy, limiting its ability to modernize its military. This makes psychological signaling even more important for Caracas. High alerts, strong rhetoric, and visible troop movements are tools used to compensate for technological gaps. In contrast, the United States relies on demonstrations of advanced hardware to maintain deterrence. The timing of the machine gun test is also significant. Global tensions are high, with conflicts and rivalries flaring in multiple regions. Any military action, even a test, is viewed through a lens of global power competition. Allies watch closely, adversaries analyze every detail, and neutral countries weigh their diplomatic positions carefully. For the average viewer, it's important to understand that modern warfare is not always about large-scale battles. Often, it's about perception. A weapon test can be just as powerful as an actual deployment if it changes how other nations calculate risk. The U.S. Navy understands this well. Every test sends data not only to engineers but also to the world. Venezuela's response reflects this reality. By declaring a high alert, Maduro is speaking not just to Washington, but to his domestic audience as well. Showing defiance against a superpower helps reinforce his image as a leader standing up to foreign pressure. In times of economic hardship and political challenge, external threats are often used to unify internal support. Still, the danger lies in escalation. When both sides feel the need to appear strong, flexibility decreases. Dialogue becomes harder, and compromise is seen as weakness. History has shown that many conflicts begin not with intention, but with misjudgment. The Caribbean has seen such moments before, and the lessons remain relevant today. Military experts note that while the machine gun itself is formidable, it is part of a much larger system. Integrated sensors, radar, command networks, and trained crews all contribute to its effectiveness. This highlights the depth of U.S. military investment and the gap between American forces and those of many regional actors. At the same time, Venezuela is not alone. It has cultivated relationships with other global powers, seeking political and military support to counter U.S. influence. These alliances add another layer of complexity to the situation. Any increase in U.S.-Venezuela tension could draw in outside interests, intentionally or not. For now, no shots have been fired. The machine gun test remains a test, and Venezuela's high alert remains a precaution. But the signals are clear. Both sides are watching each other closely, measuring reactions, and preparing for various scenarios. As technology continues to advance, the nature of power projection changes. A single weapon system, when showcased at the right moment, can shift the strategic conversation. The U.S. Navy's latest test is exactly that. It reminds the world of America's military reach while simultaneously raising questions about stability and restraint. The coming weeks and months will be critical. Will tensions ease through diplomacy, or will further military demonstrations harden positions? Will this test remain a footnote in defense news, or will it mark the beginning of a more confrontational phase in U.S.-Venezuela relations? One thing is certain. In today's world, military tests are never just technical events. They are political statements, strategic messages, and sometimes warnings. As Venezuela remains on high alert and the U.S. Navy continues to modernize its arsenal, the balance between deterrence and provocation becomes increasingly fragile. The world will be watching closely, because what happens in the Caribbean does not stay in the Caribbean. It echoes across global politics, reminding us how quickly tension can rise when power, technology, and mistrust collide. And as history has shown time and again, it is often during moments like these, quiet, tense, and uncertain, that the future direction of international relations is decided.